Hi everybody, thank you for watching. So today's video is going to be all about makeup I changed my mind about. I have seen a couple requests come in for this video, so I thought, alright, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So what I'm talking about today is makeup that I changed my mind about, either in a good way or in a bad way. I have specific makeup products to talk about, I have brands to talk about, and I have makeup techniques, makeup trends that I'm also going to be talking about. So I'm super excited to share this makeup that I changed my mind about, and thank you to everyone who has requested this video. If you are new to my channel, I want to say thank you so much for coming by and clicking on this video. If you haven't yet subscribed, I hope that you will consider subscribing before you go, because I do post videos every single day. So if you enjoy getting daily content on makeup and beauty, I hope that you will subscribe to get notified when I do post my videos. 20K giveaway for both YouTube and Instagram is going on right now, so those links will be in the description box down below. But without further ado, why don't we go ahead and get into makeup that I changed my mind about. The first item I want to talk about is the lashes. A lot of you guys might know that I have a serious love for false lashes. Some of the first false lashes that I ever wore were Ardell Lashes. You can get these from the drugstore. They are super affordable. When I started out wearing lashes back in like high school, college days, I really gravitated towards Ardell because they were super inexpensive and I thought that they were very easy to put on. As I started my YouTube channel, I consistently would recommend Ardell Lashes for beginners because I found them so easy to use. And then one day, everything changed. I still am really not 100% sure what happened, but I started branching out and trying a lot of different eyelashes and eyelash brands. And then one day I went back to the Ardell Lashes and I could not get them on for the life of me. I couldn't get them to look good. I couldn't get them to look natural. And I was like, what am I doing wrong here? And so I went back to the other lashes that I'd been having a better time with. And then again, I went back to the Ardell. I mean, I did this probably 3 or 4 different times. And then I finally just had to like throw my hands in the air and be like, I don't know, I can't wear Ardell Lashes anymore. And it kind of like devastates me because this was like, I was like ride or die for Ardell Lashes for a very long time. I mean, years and years. And for some reason, I can just not vibe with them anymore. But I've definitely changed my mind on these because the Ardell Lashes were some of my favorites. And now I cannot wear them. It was like every time I would go to my CVS, no matter what it was that I was getting, I was like, oh, I'm gonna grab a pair of Ardell Lashes just to have them as backup, just to have them as backup. And I can't remember the last time I purchased them because I'm just not wearing them anymore, which is really sad to me. But I have definitely changed my mind on the Ardell Lashes. This was the only pair that I could find in my lash drawer and it was buried at the very bottom. These are my only Ardell ones. So unfortunately, Ardell, no longer for me. So another item that I changed my mind about, but for the better, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation. When I first bought this stick foundation, I was like, meh. I thought the coverage was pretty light to medium, and while I thought it made my face look okay, I think for me, I wanted a fuller coverage, especially because I bought this more closer to like the fall, winter time, I'm pretty sure, where I tend to do a fuller coverage type of foundation. And now in the summertime, I like a lighter coverage. I wear a lot of BB creams or tinted moisturizers in the summer because I just don't like a lot of heavy foundation on my face. And I think that's a big reason why I keep gravitating towards this one right now. So this might be better as my spring summer foundation versus fall winter foundation. But I don't know, when I first got it, I just kind of let it sit. Like I tried it for, you know, the 5 or 6 times or whatever that I tried foundation, and I was like, I don't know, it's just okay to me. And it kind of sat on my shelf and just was kind of there, and I didn't reach for it a lot. And then the warmer weather hit, and one day I was like, you know what, I'm in a hurry. Stick foundations are super nice for convenience, and I thought, I'm in a hurry, I'm just gonna grab my Anastasia. And I used it and I was like, wait a second, why didn't I like this again? And ever since then, I've been finding myself reaching for it more and more. I post a lot of makeup tutorials on Instagram, and you've been seeing this guy in a lot of them because I keep reaching for them. And as we've been traveling and going out of town, it seems like I'm always grabbing a BB cream, one of my favorite more full coverage foundations, but then I'm also grabbing the stick foundation. I'm like, how did this happen? How have I all of a sudden changed my mind so drastically on the Anastasia stick foundation? I really don't know what happened, but I think maybe the coverage factor does have a lot to do with it because I like the lighter coverage in the warmer weather months. So I think that we're going to be getting along for the next couple months at least. But yes, the Anastasia stick foundation, I changed my mind for the better. So an item that I changed my mind about for for the not so good, is the Anastasia, Beverly Hills, and Nicole Glow Kit. I recently did post a video on best and worst influencer collaborations, and I actually had to put this one in the worst category because it ended up just not being for me. This was one when I first bought it, I was like, yes, I love it. I love these highlights. Oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden one day I was like, no girl, that does not look good on you. You do not vibe with the highlight palette. I don't know if I let myself buy into the hype. I'm not really sure what it was. And I don't want to say that the highlight shades aren't pretty, because they are. They're pretty. So some of the shades looked decent on my skin. I think one of my issues is that I really only gravitated towards this shade right here, which is Forever Lit. And like sometimes I could wear Forever Young, but some of the other shades were either too dark for my skin tone or just kind of looked strange. There was only a couple of the shades that I could use. Obviously my glow kit did come shattered. All my glow kits come shattered, so there's that. That shade is no longer with us. But another thing that I really started to not like about this was that a lot of the shades are glittery, and I do have texture on my skin, especially in the areas that I highlight, so I cannot wear stuff a lot with glitter that will really emphasize that texture, because it doesn't look nice on my skin. And I kept trying this and I kept trying this, and even after I was like, wait a second, I don't think that looks great on my skin, I still kept doing it because I was like, no, you got this, girl. You love that palette. Like that's your glow kit, man. You gotta wear it. And then I was like, no, it just doesn't look good on me anymore. So this palette I have not reached for in a very long time, because it doesn't look good on my skin anymore. A lot of them don't vibe on my face. So unfortunately I did change my mind about this, and it's just no longer for me. Another item that I've changed my mind about that might come as a surprise to some people are the Colourpop liquid lipsticks, the ultra matte and then also the satin lips. Now, I don't hate these products. The reason why I've changed my mind on these Colourpop lipsticks is because when I first started wearing them, I was obsessed. It was so hard for me not to place orders for Colourpop lipsticks, especially when they're only $6. Why I have changed my mind about them recently is because I don't even know if I noticed it until I realized when I was doing my Organize With Me vlog that I was like, when was the last time I reached for a Colourpop liquid lipstick? I feel like it has been a while. I am a lipstick addict, so I do have a very huge lipstick collection, but even still, there are those lipsticks or even those brands of lipsticks that I'm consistently reaching for. It doesn't matter, or they're my go-to, they're always in my purse, they're always in my travel bag, something. And it hasn't really been Colourpop. And I'm like, okay, so what happened? What made me change my mind on these? When I actually wore this liquid lipstick in particular, this is the shade Perky, and it was from one of their holiday collections last year. This was one of my favorite shades. I was obsessed with it. It was pink, but like a dark pink, but kind of bright at the same time. It was one of the more unique lipstick shades that I had ever worn. It was one of their ultra matte formulas, but it was super comfortable on the lips. It stayed so well, and I was obsessed. I wore it so often. It's almost like with time, they just get worse, because I pulled this out maybe a month ago to wear it, and as I put it on my lips, I was like, what is this? This is completely different. The color was completely different. It was much, much darker, almost like a dark purple now. And over time too, it's almost like the lipsticks start to separate. I don't know if you can see that right here. Like the lipsticks start to separate in the tubes. I mean, a lot of mine are doing them. Here's another one that is completely separated. Another one where it's separated a lot. So when I use them, I feel like I kind of have to like shake them up at first. But it really is almost like the color changes after a while in the tubes, and I do not appreciate that at all. There's one other shade I pulled out. I wore it not too long ago, and I remember listing it in my YouTube video and also on Instagram, and people are like, that's the shade? It looks completely different. Well, it was the shade Beeper right here. Beeper was one of the cult classics immediately with Colourpop. Everybody wanted Beeper. It was a super in-trend color, and I wore it, you know, maybe a couple months ago, but people were like, that does not look like Beeper. And I'm like, I know, I completely agree with you. But the colors change on me. Does anyone else have this happen to them? Because it's kind of strange to me, and it kind of has really irritated me, but I know a ton of people love the Colourpop lipsticks and have really big collections, probably because they are so affordable. So I would actually really love to know if anybody else has this happen to them, but it truly has made me not want to reach for these, because I'm like, even though I know some of these are my favorite shades, I don't know what I'm gonna get when I put them on my lips. So that is a really big reason why I've changed my mind about the Colourpop lipsticks. Fortunately, the Colourpop lipsticks I've changed my mind about, and not for the better. Well, some drugstore foundations that I actually changed my mind about are these Maybelline foundations. These two are the Fit Me, like the original Fit Me foundations, and this one is the Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I was so obsessed with these, and especially when I first started my YouTube channel, I was always recommending these. I was always wearing these. They were just like my go-to foundations. They're Maybelline, they're drugstore, they were a bit cheaper. I loved them. I had so many good things to say about them. I know a lot of people still really like these foundations, but I do not reach for these. The thing that I think maybe it could have been is that when I started wearing these, I was really getting into makeup. I was starting my beauty YouTube channel, and these were one of the first items that I bought because I really liked Maybelline. It's been a brand that I've been wearing for a long time. Because this is one of the first like real foundations that I started wearing, I didn't have a lot to compare it to yet, so I was immediately just like, this is fantastic. I look great wearing foundation, because I didn't actually wear a ton of foundation until a couple of years ago. As I started trying out more, like sure, there's some high-end in there, but I'm also very loyal to my drugstore foundations. I have quite a bit. I just found foundations that I liked a lot better than these. So to me, I think that's one of the biggest things of why I loved them so much in the beginning, was because I didn't have a ton to compare them to. They all feel pretty heavy on the skin. I realized it very early on with the matte and poreless. I can really only wear this with a very damp beauty sponge, because otherwise with a brush it just feels so heavy and like cakey on my skin. I do think they oxidize a lot as well when I put it on, and then what I look like an hour later, the foundations are usually much darker on me. And they all, I mean, I even have different shade ranges, also pull really yellow on me. And I know a lot when I wore them in videos or Instagram tutorials, even a year back, people are like, your foundation looks terrible, that is so yellow. And I'm like, I know, I'm trying to find different shades. These Maybelline foundations have gone in my very rarely used drawer, and I definitely have changed my mind on these. A brand that I have changed my mind about, and not for the better, is Too Faced. You guys might not be surprised if you've been following my channel for a while. Too Faced used to be one of my favorite brands. It was one of the very first high-end makeup brands that I was purchasing from. I actually used to be a product reviewer for Too Faced back when they first started, and back when I had a blog that featured both books and beauty. I would review makeup items a lot on there. I was contacted by Too Faced and asked if they could send me early products in order to get reviews, not only on the actual product itself, but the packaging, the marketability of products. And I did that for quite some time. I used to get a ton of free products from Too Faced to be able to try out, and they had really cool like contests for us. I don't even know what you would call us then, because I don't even know if it was influencers, but the product reviewers, we would get entered in these cool contests. I won a bunch of stuff. I used to have a ton of Too Faced, and then I continued to be very brand loyal for Too Faced. I put a lot of Too Faced in my early YouTube videos, and then it's just been within, you know, maybe since last fall that I've noticed a change in Too Faced, and I've definitely changed my mind about them. And I always feel bad because I'm not someone who enjoys bashing products or bashing brands or bashing people. It's really not my style. But Too Faced is one that I really have changed my mind about. I have not bought anything from Too Faced since the white chocolate chip palette, and I believe that was either in like November or December that I purchased that palette, and I've just refused to buy anything from Too Faced since then, because there seems to be like a consistent decline with that brand and with the products. And you know, that is of course for me personally. I know there's people out there that still continue to love Too Faced, support Too Faced, and they like the products they are coming out with, but for me personally, I have not been loving it. Of course, there's other issues out there, stuff with social media, stuff with influencers, backlash and that sort of thing, and you know, drama and all that. To me, I hear about it and I see it. I don't watch drama channels, but I do see things, or people even will leave comments to me like, did you hear about them doing this? And I'm like, no, I didn't, because I don't seek out drama, but of course I do hear it. That is very sad to me, and so I feel like of course that it is going to influence part of my decision not to buy from them, but at the same time, a bigger part is that I had been buying some of their new releases and I just hadn't been super impressed with them. So unfortunately, Too Faced, it's so weird to me because just one of my favorite brands. I was so into them for so long, and now I just really can't get into them. I hope things kind of change around. I hope they can slope upwards again. I would love to see that, but yeah, as of right now, I've definitely changed my mind on Too Faced, and not for the better. The last item that I want to talk about is not necessarily makeup or a brand, but I want to talk about eyebrows. So this might be really random, but I thought it could be something that I could address because this was something that I struggled with for a very long time. So before I started watching YouTube and started my YouTube channel, I did not know doing your eyebrows was a thing. Had no idea. When I started YouTube, it was a couple months in, people would start saying, why don't you do anything with your eyebrows? What is wrong with you? I can't believe you don't do your eyebrows. I have a beauty channel without doing your eyebrows. I would post tutorials on Instagram and take all this time to create these eye looks and to do these wing liners and lashes. People would just hone in on the fact that I didn't do my eyebrows. It was super discouraging, and I was always pretty down about it because to me it was kind of crazy that, you know, you take your time to create a video and put everything into it and buy the equipment and take the time to film and come up with the content ideas and edit it and get it up there and market your videos, and the same thing for the Instagram tutorials. And all people can do is hone in on the one thing that you didn't do to their standards, and it really upset me, and it actually made me to the point where I was like, well, I just don't want to do my eyebrows then. Like, I just don't want to do it. And what bummed me out is that when the comments first started coming in, I was like, oh, okay, I should definitely learn how to do my eyebrows. Before I started a YouTube channel, I wasn't big into makeup because I felt like I couldn't do things right, and it discouraged me very quickly, and I'd just be like, okay, fine, then I won't do it. I would give up very fast. So when the comments started coming in about eyebrows, I was like, okay, so I'm gonna learn. And then I would try and I would do my eyebrows, and then the comments would come in like, your eyebrows look ridiculous, they look square, they look boxy, they look too dark, they're too light, they're too big. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything right with the eyebrows. So I kind of just gave up. I was like, well, then I'm not gonna do them because this is just ridiculous. And you know, I was getting so frustrated at the comments. But then what was interesting to me was that I truly wanted to learn how to do eyebrows. I didn't know how to do winged eyeliner either, but I wanted to learn, and I did it. So I kind of got frustrated with myself that I let these negative comments influence me in a different direction that I wanted to go. I wanted to learn how to do eyebrows, but the comments got me so much that I flipped and was like, fine, then I'm just not gonna do them. Like, whatever, I'm just not even going to. And that frustrates me. So it was kind of something that I wanted to address in this video, talking about makeup I changed my mind about, because I changed my mind a couple of times of, oh, I am gonna learn. Oh, hell no, I'm not gonna learn. Back to, you know what? It was something that I wanted to learn, and I'm gonna go ahead and try. I just kind of wanted to throw it out there because I did change my mind about it, and there was a point in time where I would be so frustrated about eyebrows, and I would mention it in YouTube videos and be like, well, people are always mad at me because I don't do my eyebrows, but like, whatever. I wanted to mention that because I've changed my mind a couple different times on brows, and I wanted to just kind of address it here, and then also hope to insert a little piece of like positivity into this video as well, because it was something that I realized a while back, and I thought it could make interesting conversation for a video. So I thought that I would include that in here. But after we are done talking about eyebrows, that's gonna do it for makeup that I changed my mind about. Alright guys, so that's gonna do it for makeup that I changed my mind about. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful in some way. Leave me some comments down below. Let me know if we have changed our minds about anything together, or maybe something that you have changed your mind about that maybe surprised you, or you know, you changed your mind about in a good or a bad way. I would love to know your comments as always, and I do read and respond to all of them. I also want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate you coming by. I hope that you will give this one a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Make sure that you subscribe before you go, and I'll catch you guys real soon in my next one. Bye.